Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Network Breakfast. You said it, Scott, right there. Our friend, master photographer Scott Morrison, checking in. We also have Chris Walters, Jeff Hexter, and Ask Mike Bentley. So we're going to turn it over to each of them and give them a 1 minute, and then we'll continue on with best roadside assistance companies. Okay. So right now we'd like to say good morning to Mike Bentley.
Good morning, all. I am Mike Bentley from the Brooks and Stafford Company. We are a full service insurance agency that covers everything from your auto, your home, your boat, your motorcycle, your business, your truck fleet, bonding if needed, your commercial entity, your health insurance, your group benefits, your Medicare coverage, your Obamacare coverage. We have a great staff that can do it all. So if you have a question concerning insurance coverage, ask Mike. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. And thanks for being here. We're going to say good morning to Scott Morrison in front of the Cleveland sign. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, everybody. As he said, my name is Scott Morrison, company's Discovery Photo. I am a full-time, full-service photographer, have been for 30 years now. We do everything from legal, corporate, industrial, architectural photography. We also do business headshots, weddings, whatever you can think of. We are a full-time, full-service photographer. And we also do a lot with the movie industry. Yesterday, we were filming a comedy. The day before, we were filming a kind of a suspense thriller movie. And I have 3 more movies in the works for this year and hope to continue with doing all this fun stuff. My name is Scott Morrison, the company's Discovery Photo, when image counts.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott. Very impressive. Scott Morrison. Good morning, Jeff Hexter.
Thank you, Tom. Hey, well, if yesterday was a comedy, was today a tragedy?
Yes.
All right. And is that background picture a picture you took? Just making sure.
I've seen those masks.
Right. I'm Jeff Hexter with Always Keep Computing. I work with professionals working from their homes who have whiffy Wi-Fi, printers not printing, and email not sending. If your disaster plan is the same as your regular plan with that, just with more alcohol, let's have a conversation. You can join me every Wednesday morning at Jack's Deli from 9 to 11, and for free, I answer computer questions when I'm there for breakfast. You buy your own breakfast. I'm not buying your breakfast, but come hang out. Jeff Hexter, Always Keep Computing.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. In fact, for all the help you give, they probably should buy you breakfast.
I would never do that. We pull out our hair so you don't have to.
But I can tell you this, Jack's Deli, excellent food.
Thanks.
You said it. That's Wednesday morning, 9 to 11, Jeff Hexter, Jack's Deli, if you're in Northeast Ohio. Okay, good morning to Chris Walters. Chris.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Walters with See-Through Windows. I provide vinyl replacement windows and patio doors. I cover a territory from Port Clinton to the Pennsylvania border, Cleveland to Canton. I go take a look at every property and quote you a price, and within 24 to 36 hours, you have an email with the price. And right now we're looking at probably late August, early September for installation. FYI, the manufacturers are just in a mess right now. They can't get people to work, and they're just calling or at a meeting with both of them, the national sales managers of both of them, and they're really in trouble. So just keep in mind, if you got something going on, you need to go ahead and look at your job and get it going, because you may be too late. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And such as the state of our employment in June 22nd of 2021, we'll probably look at this video in a year and say, wow, you mean we can't get enough employees? We can't get people to get back to work. It's amazing. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the best roadside assistance companies, and we got 10 of them listed. And outside of that 10 includes one of the most famous of them, which I'll go into. So we're going to start doing that. And I'm going to share my screen, and we'll put up a PowerPoint presentation. And together, we'll see who and what are the 10 best roadside assistance companies. And there it is. And there it is. So you could see best roadside assistance companies. Roadside assistance is a service for stranded drivers that usually covers towing, locksmith services, battery changes, jump starts, tire changes, and the delivery of fuel or oil. The best roadside assistance plans are from Better World Club, Nationwide, and Travelers because they cover a lot at a low price. Best roadside assistance companies, most roadside assistance plans are available for a flat fee every month or year. In addition to standard coverage options, some roadside assistance plans offer especially high towing limits and cover winching needed to get your car out of mud, sand, or snow. More expensive plans generally offer added perks as well, like hotel discounts and trip interruption insurance. Roadside assistance can come from your car insurance company, your cell phone provider, or a standalone provider like an auto club. Additionally, many auto manufacturers provide free roadside assistance for new cars. Now, next are the 10 best roadside assistance companies. The number one roadside assistance company is Better World Club. And you could see I put a little notation there in the upper right. The basic is $59 and premium is $95 for a year. Better World Club is the best roadside assistance company because of its above average coverage options, relatively low price, and A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Better World Club's plans are on the cheaper side for auto clubs in particular, and its website says the company will match AAA's prices. For those who aren't familiar, Better World Club is a subscription-based service that markets itself as the only eco-friendly auto club. The club advertises its bicycle roadside assistance, carbon-neutral fleet, and donations to environmental charities, among other initiatives. Number two is Travelers. The basic for Travelers is $12, and the premium price varies per year. So the basic is $12 for the year, and the premium varies, so I didn't put a price. Travelers offers the best roadside assistance from a car insurance company, as drivers can choose between the two inexpensive plans. Both the basic coverage plan and the premier package include winching, which is rarely available from a car insurance company's roadside assistance. Additionally, the premier option provides up to 100 miles of towing, trip interruption coverage, and personal property coverage. Nationwide. Nationwide provides stellar roadside assistance for a car insurance company and offers the choice of two plans, Basic and Plus. As you can see in the upper right, Basic is $23 and the Plus plan is $42 a year. The Basic plan alone provides above average service since it includes ditch extraction. And the Plus plan is a good choice for long distance drivers because it offers towing for up to 100 miles, as well as trip interruption reimbursement for up to $500 if you're stranded farther away than they will tow. Progressive. Average is $16 to $23 a year. Progressive offers one inexpensive roadside assistance program. In addition to standard services like towing and fuel delivery, Progressive covers winching your car out of snow, sand, mud, or water up to 100 feet from a road or highway. So Progressive is a great choice for those who tend to drive in hazardous weather or on roads in poor condition. Allstate. Allstate for the first year is $79. Allstate provides the most flexibility of any roadside assistance provider. Drivers can buy roadside assistance as an add-on to an Allstate policy or purchase a subscription plan regardless of their insurer. Plus, any driver can use Allstate's mobile app to access pay-per-use roadside assistance regardless of insurer. Adding roadside assistance to an Allstate policy or getting pay-per-use service will cover you for the usual needs, including lockouts and tire changes. But for drivers who want the benefits of an auto club, an Allstate Motor Club subscription provides additional discounts and perks such as trip interruption coverage. Farmers. You could see that Farmers in the upper right is $23.20 yearly add-on to a policy. Farmers provides an inexpensive and relatively basic policy, though it does include winching if your car is stuck within 10 feet of a public paved road. Farmers received an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, too. Ultimately, it is a reliable option for drivers who want only the essentials covered and who do not plan on long road trips. Good Sam. The Platinum is $49 and Platinum Complete is $89 for a year. Good Sam is an auto club that offers a variety of plans for different vehicles, including cars, motorcycles, RVs, and trailers. The basic Good Sam plan provides towing to the nearest service center, regardless of mileage. Members can also save at Amoco transmission centers. AT&T. AT&T is for an enrolled phone is $299 a month, and the travel pack is $999 a month. AT&T offers standard roadside assistance for $299 per month for customers with one phone line. The plan covers up to 4 roadside assistance calls per year and will pay for services that cost up to $75 per incident. If the customer calls more than 4 times in a calendar year, they must pay for any service themselves, though AT&T will help arrange it. One thing you should note is that AT&T coverage is linked to a specific phone. So the phone and the subscriber must be physically present at the car to qualify for roadside assistance. In other words, the phone's owner can be the driver or a passenger, but they cannot call on behalf of someone else who is stranded. With that being said, AT&T's plan is a good choice for drivers who want cheap roadside assistance, but cannot or do not want to buy it from their car insurance company. American Family. Average is $12 to $72 a year. American Family roadside assistance only includes standard services, but it's an inexpensive, solid choice. It costs $10 to $20 a year to add to an existing car insurance policy, and the American Family earned an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. State Farm is between $5 and $7 per policy period for customers. State Farm's roadside assistance is one of the cheapest options, costing as little as $1 a month. It is an especially good choice for budget-conscious drivers who anticipate small problems rather than large disasters. On the other hand, drivers who want extra coverage, like long-distance towing or travel discounts, should look elsewhere. That's our 10. But here's an honorable mention. It's worth noting that the most well-known auto club, AAA, ranked 14th out of 22 providers in our analysis. Despite its extensive coverage options and added perks, AAA has a grade of F with the Better Business Bureau due to a large number of unresolved customer complaints. So I think we should still take a look at AAA. This is like the standard of the industry, even though it's 14th out of 22. So AAA roadside assistance is worth it if a driver has multiple cars, an older car, or a car with frequent mechanical problems. AAA roadside assistance might also be worth it if a driver plans to make frequent use of AAA discounts or wants extensive roadside coverage. AAA ranked 14th out of 22 companies in Wallet Hub's analysis of 2021's best roadside assistance. The biggest drawback is that AAA received an F from the Better Business Bureau due to a large number of unresolved customer complaints. However, AAA does offer above average protection for a reasonable price. Drivers can choose between 3 different levels of AAA roadside assistance, but they all include the same base services. And this is what they are. If you see the tier you're on, AAA Basic, AAA Plus, AAA Premier. You can see the average annual cost of the 3, towing services, locksmith for car, fuel delivery, extraction if stuck, tire change, jump start, battery service and lockout, and trip interruption benefit. You can see all those numbers, and I'll leave that up for a second here while we talk about it. And even though it's 14th out of 22, these criteria are hard to beat for any of the others, for whatever price you're going to pay. Let's move on. Now, we're back to the best roadside assistance companies. Compare the best roadside assistance companies with the Better Business Bureau. You can see number 1 is Better World Club for A+ with a BBB rating. 2 is Nationwide. That's, of course, Nationwide Insurance. And number 3 is Travelers Insurance. And number 4, Progressive, which is an A-, but still way up there, with Progressive, which is also an insurance company. And the top 5 is Allstate. So of the top 5, 4 of them are insurance companies. So here's some tips for choosing the best roadside assistance. Decide if a roadside assistance subscription is worth it. If your car is already covered by a manufacturer's warranty, for example, buying additional roadside assistance is probably unnecessary. In addition, if you don't expect to use roadside assistance often, apps like Blink and Honk do not require a subscription, but can connect you with providers for a flat fee per service call. Number 2, weigh the pros and cons of an auto club versus the more basic coverage provided by most car insurance companies. Auto club subscriptions usually have higher towing limits, while insurers offer cheaper, more basic coverage. 3, think about whether you want to be covered as an individual or if you want your car to be covered. Frequent car renters or business travelers should probably purchase plans that cover them as an individual rather than covering a specific vehicle. But if you have multiple family members using one car or one insurance policy, coverage on that car itself or on the policy is likely to be the most cost-effective. And lastly, take any special circumstances into account. Do you take road trips to Canada or Mexico? Do you own an RV or a motorcycle? And if so, be sure to tailor your search to these specific needs. And that, my friends, is that. And so I bid you a thank you. And also a special thanks to Lila Butler, car insurance writer from May 28th, 2021. Thank you, Lila. So there you are. The 10 best insurance companies, and I included as an honorable mention AAA Auto Club because they, of course, are the most famous. I got an email from Ray saying he didn't even know there were 10 because he wasn't taking into account, I'm sure, that most insurance companies offer roadside assistance. As we've seen, the top 5, 4 of them are roadside assistance, are insurance companies. So there you have it.
Lila did a great job making all the key points. And I just want to sort of pick up on those points.
Please.
A lot of people don't realize that their auto insurance, most of the major insurers, and as you could tell by the list, provide some coverage. Some provide more coverage than others. Some provide coverage automatically. You don't, it's part of the auto package. And some of the things that it might cover besides towing, is locksmith benefit. You know, you're locked out or your keys broken off or whatever the case. So it might provide locksmith services for, you know, up to $250. It might also include the delivery of fuel. You're on the freeway, you forget to look at your fuel gauge, you run out of gas. So those are services that some of your more premier policies might include automatically, or they can be added on for a nominal cost. So you may not need to join an auto club. But one of the points that she did make there is that different from AAA, in which that coverage goes with you as the member, these services that come with your auto policy is applied to the insured vehicle. So if you're driving, you know, a neighbor's car or a family member's car and it breaks down, your auto insurance coverage isn't going to cover the neighbor's car. Or if you're on vacation and you've rented a vehicle and, you know, you have an incident, your auto insurance probably isn't going to cover it. But if you have a service like AAA, it would cover. So the auto club memberships, whether it's AAA or Good Sam or whatever company it might be, that's going to go with you versus something through the insurance company, which might be very comprehensive. That's going to apply only to that car. And then if you get a new car anyway, usually you have the roadside assistance, or like if you have a GM vehicle, you're going to get OnStar, which is an added service that maybe you get free for a few months, and then you've got to pay for in addition. But most insurance policies will cover towing, the winching, fuel delivery, and locksmith services. And then some will also pick up services or cost if you get stranded.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike, from an insurance expert. Appreciate that.
So you should always, before you take a trip, it's always a good policy, use the term, a good policy to review your auto insurance policy to see what kind of coverage you have. And another common question that we get when people travel, especially they fly and they rent a vehicle, will my auto insurance cover my rental vehicle? Do I need to pay that hefty additional cost for insurance for the rental vehicle, or will my auto insurance company cover it? And that's something that you need to check in your policy or call your agent. And most policies will cover you in a rental vehicle, but here's where people get bitten. The downtime. So if you damage that vehicle, your auto insurance policy may cover the damage, and it's going to cover the liability portion. But usually that rental car company is going to come along and they're going to tag you with the cost of that vehicle being out of the fleet, out of service. Now the car is being repaired, and it's going to take a week or 10 days for parts and the car to be repaired. And so the auto rental company is now going to tag you with the cost of that car being out of service.
Wow.
And your personal auto insurance may not cover that particular charge.
Okay. Would your recommendation be first look at your insurance company for roadside assistance before you turn to AAA? This is how it happened. I got the envelope that we all get from AAA, and they took a certain percentage off to join. And I thought, well, let me get this going. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I should look into who else makes available roadside assistance. Maybe it's just as good. Maybe it's not as good. But So would your recommendation be to look at your insurance company first before you sign up with an auto club, a standalone?
Well, as you can see,
What are we
I'm a
looking at?
member.
What is that?
AAA card.
That's
He's a
my
AAA
AAA
member.
card.
Oh, AAA.
Right. I've been a member for years. Now,
Here's my
why am I?
renewal right here.
Yeah. Why am I a member?
Yes.
Well, one,
Like
it throws in some additional travel perks and discounts and some other services, some basic life insurance, accident insurance that it provides for its members.
Okay.
But I spend a lot of time on the road, and the car that I use is not a new car. I'm driving around now. It's an 11-year-old car. So it's not covered under the manufacturer's warranty. It's not covered under the auto insurance company's roadside assistance.
Okay.
And so I want to make sure I have the coverage where if I'm driving down to North Carolina and I'm on the West Virginia Turnpike in the middle of nowhere, that I'm going to get coverage and service. And it's interesting because down south, especially in North Carolina, AAA actually has auto repair centers. Like we go by and see a Firestone service center or a Monroe service center. In the South, you got AAA service centers, and they actually have vans. So a lot of times, if you need roadside assistance down there, instead of they've got some ABC towing company that they contract with, and they're going to send you to ABC Towing Company, they have their own vehicle and their own vans. Just a couple of days ago, my daughter informed me that her Odyssey van that she's had for 5 years, it wouldn't start. It was clicking. I said, well, it may be a starter, because all of the other features on the car was working. I didn't think it was a battery issue. And so they had AAA, and the AAA van showed up, and the AAA van actually has batteries in the van. And so without even removing the vehicle out of her garage, they changed the battery. So for that reason, I do a lot of traveling. I'm on the road. I'm using an older vehicle that's not going to have roadside assistance from the manufacturer. And I also have insurance coverage that's going to provide me service as well. I still go with AAA.
Okay. So Jeff is AAA. Scott says thumbs up AAA. Mike, AAA. How about it, Chris? We're going to make it unanimous?
No, I don't have AAA.
You got AA.
How about like batteries? But what do you think your recommendation would be? Go with AAA or get insurance? I mean, get roadside from an insurance company.
Well, for you, Tom, the question is, do you plan on driving outside of the local area, or are you mostly your work is going to be in the local area? That's one consideration. Number two, do you need the additional perks and benefits that maybe the AAA membership may give to you? And then you compare that with what your auto insurance provider may provide. You know, if your auto insurance provider is going to provide you, free towing for up to 100 miles and it's going to give you locksmith services and gas delivery, why will you need AAA?
Yeah. You know what I didn't look into is how long it takes to respond, because I know AAA sort of prides itself in being there like within a half an hour or 45 minutes. Whereas
I think that's probably why they get an F. I've used AAA a lot over the years.
Okay.
I probably had used their service at least 10 or 12 times.
Wow.
And the most recent couple of times that I've called, I've actually canceled the request because I've gone to a different source to, get the flat tire or whatever taken care of. And then I also have AAA because of my wife. You know, I've got a sport vehicle with sport tires, in which I regret the day I ever got a vehicle with sport tires, because I've now replaced on my vehicle 7 tires from the original. And that's another thing you want to check on as well, is look at the kind of insurance that you can get for road hazard. Some are real good policies on tires and others aren't. But so I have AAA, and my wife's used AAA when I've been up here, and she's been in North Carolina, and she's had a flat tire because of the sport tire.
Well, the real question is, and Mike, I'd like you to answer it, is rental cars, and I'm sure you're using rental cars all over the place. Are you getting their insurance coverage, or are you using AAA?
I pretty much don't use. I haven't gotten a rental car in a long time now, because
Okay.
I have people pick me up when I fly in, and I got a vehicle there. But most of the time, your auto insurance is going to transfer and again cover, you know, damages to the rental vehicle, less whatever the deductible is on your car. It's going to apply to. So if you get a $500 deductible for, you know, collision and comp, that $500 is going to apply to the rental car. It's going to provide you liability coverage if you're in an accident and fault. So that's going to travel. Your auto insurance coverage is probably going to travel with you. Where it doesn't sometimes cover, again, is when that vehicle that you've damaged from the rental car company is out of service. They're going to charge you per day on that.
Okay.
So before you get a rental car, you're traveling on vacation, going to Florida, getting a rental car, whatever, check with your auto insurance company, talk to the agent, and have him or her give you the lowdown.
Yeah. So I guess what I'll do before I buy anything, I'll call my insurance company. I have Allstate on the cars and the houses too. Mm-hmm. I'll call them and see what their because of the variables in the presentation, I'll see how much it will be. Mostly, I'm concerned with the towing, a breakdown, being on the west side, or being near Chris in Stowe, or I go to Akron sometimes, maybe once a month. So my concern is breaking down and then getting a tow to bring it back up here to get repaired. So that would be mainly it. I'm probably not going to run out of fuel. I'm probably not going to have to worry about batteries, although I guess that could happen to anybody if you leave something on for a few hours.
But being that we're in Northeast Ohio, you know, you could be in the wintertime, slide off the road into a ditch, and maybe you have to be winched out. So that's a service. So you're not being towed, you're just being pulled out of a ditch.
Yeah. So I'll have to check on that too. That would wenching would be a concern. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wenching and winching are different things.
Yeah, this is not Taming of the Shrew. Mm-hmm. Great movie. Petruchio.
So I have AAA because I have 3 older cars.
Yeah.
And for that, if something happens, they will tow it. You know, so like I'm the member, so all 5 of my cars are covered under that plan. You know, my truck, my wife's car, and then my 3 older cars. And, you know, with older cars, something's always going wrong or it won't start. They will tow it from my garage to a shop. So that's the main reason I have it. I know there's all kinds of discounts for travel and trip ticks and all that, but every once in a while, you know, you check into a hotel and you say, yeah, I have a AAA discount and that's a better deal. But it's mainly for the towing that I have it for the older cars.
Okay, so in your experience, what's the wait time, Scott?
If it's in the summer on a nice day, they could be here in 15 minutes. In the middle of winter, when everybody's calling because their car is not starting because it's cold or they're off the road, it could be hours. But
Yeah.
I've had pretty good luck. They subcontract, and sometimes they're great people and other times they're kind of pain in the butts. But
Yeah.
And I don't know if like Allstate or all those, if they have their own trucks or if they also subcontract out with a local towing service. And then I have a new vehicle, and that has 3-year roadside assistance. So anything that happens to that car, there's a number on the window, and I just call that number and they'll come and try to fix it or take it back to the dealership. So,
okay.
So I have lots of options, and I think my car insurance also has, things like that, and rental car, so if my car is out of service, they'll give me a rental car for like $15 a day or something, a very reasonable rate.
So all in all, it sounds like you're pretty well covered.
I hope so. Yeah.
For roadside
and I have been, when you have older cars, they don't start for a multitude of reasons, from batteries, bad gas, whatever. And you got to have them towed in, and I pay $90. I have the premium plan, so I pay $90 a year. And one tow is about $150.
Right.
It's really expensive. So I may go a year without a tow, but then the next year, have to tow a car 3 times for the same problem.
Well,
they'll send you a letter. AAA will send you a letter that says, hey, you're using this a lot. Get your car fixed for real instead of, or something. It's kind of like we won't cover it anymore if you keep on, for the same. It's for the same car for the same reason. They'll send you a notification.
Well, I think if your premium plan is $90, that it buys an awful lot of comfort.
It does. And it covers me. So like if I'm in my friend's car and his car dies, they will come and tow his car. I just show my card. They don't check the ownership of the car. So I have 5 cars here, and they're all covered. Unlike with the insurance, like you said, this is for this particular car. That's for that particular car.
Yeah.
And my older classic cars, they have a different kind of insurance. It's not like because we don't drive them every day. They get a few hundred miles a year, maybe 1,000 miles a year on them. So it's not a standard coverage. So.
Okay. Well, we covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'll have to weigh all the benefits and the amount of cost involved, and I'll pick one of those, and maybe I'll go with what you guys done, and I'll feel the same comfort you do as far as roadside assistance and the 10 best companies. Okay, so for today, we're going to say adios, and thanks so much for watching right to the end. It was fun, wasn't it? And we appreciate Chris Walters, Jeff Hexter, Scott Morrison, Mike Bentley, and yours truly, Tom Basie. Thanks so much for joining us on the Network Breakfast Tuesday morning. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.